75 foot long with a hero in the seat. Welcome to another episode of Crazy Canuck Trucking. Thank you for liking and sharing and following along and all the comments. It's been great. It's been a great series so far with the professional drivers and people that participating in that. So this is another special one because this is coming out Wednesday. And on Saturday, June 17th, is the Manitoba Professional Truck Driving Championships, which includes Saskatchewan drivers as well. So listen to one of the volunteers. The volunteers are a very integral part of the Truck Driving Championships. Without them, we could not get this all done. We could not get everybody judged and scored and everything else. There's quite a crew of volunteers that come out. Depending on how many contestants there are, there's almost as many volunteers and sometimes more volunteers than there is contestants. So it takes a village to run the truck driving championship. So listen to Rene, a longtime volunteer and a great advocate for trucking. Follow along. Have a great day. I want to welcome our next guest to this series about the truck driving championships, Rene. How are you doing today? Did I pronounce your name right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Doing well, David. Yourself?
I'm doing good. It's good to see your face again. We see each other every year at the truck driving championships. So why don't you, let's start with this. What is your role at the truck driving championships in Manitoba?
Yes, thank you, David. I actually one of the committee members that sit on the committee for the truck driving championships here in Manitoba. Been part of the committee now for probably nearly 20 years. And so we work together in the organization of the championships yearly and making sure that everything's put into place and we have a good location and equipment's in good order and reaching out to companies and contestants. And so everybody on the committee, works very hard to ensure that we're successful and it always is. So really have a good team behind. And so that's, I think, is a major first step. And then of course, great people in the transportation industry here in Winnipeg and Manitoba that get behind us. Without them, we wouldn't be able to accomplish what we do.
Yeah. So what is your background in trucking then?
So background in trucking, got started actually, grew up on a farm and into grain haul, and about 5 years of grain haul. And then, like 77, I guess, I got into the LTL business as a driver for Rene Express Line. There, spent 15 years over the road doing long haul, and last 5 years as a road supervisor and trainer. And that was sort of my entrance into the training side of things. And then 92 entered the truck driving class 1 school for Rene Express Lines, and spending about 5 years with the driving school. In 97, back over into the transportation sector, involved in recruiting, hiring, safety compliance, and that's sort of been my journey over the years. And last just shy of 8 years was with Clayson Group, where I retired from last March. So that's sort of been my transition in the industry as a whole.
That's so stereotypical for our age, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get in, grow up on a farm, driving farm trucks, and then get into trucking. And a lot of the old timers, that's exactly the path, and you spent your whole career there.
Yes, exactly. And the funniest thing, I only intended to actually drive long distance for the winter, and then springtime return back to farming. Never did. You never know where it's going to take you.
Oh yeah. You get that diesel smoke in your blood, and it's hard to get out again.
It really is. I always enjoy the equipment, traveling, and so it was just a good fit. I just felt totally at home, and it certainly has been a good journey and lots of opportunity to grow and develop my personal skills, and so I've certainly reaped the benefits from it over the years, and being able to give back as well is a big find the industry is pretty closely knit, and as a result, it's kind of like one big family. Ultimately, we're all connected somewhere along the line. It's
Yeah.
nice to work together to support one another.
And so you're retired now. Does that mean you're completely done, or what are you doing these days?
Well, that lasted a few months, and last September I began a new chapter. So now I'm doing contract work for the Manitoba Trucking Association. So I'm helping them out with their training courses, involved in different areas of training, and so that's keeping me busy, and great group to work with. Known the people there for many, many years, so it's kind of nice to keep your finger on the pulse. I was starting to feel a little bit like an orphan after retirement after a few months. So it's kind of nice to, once again, to reconnect and to continue to work and to reinvest in the people in the industry.
I'm a little biased, but I think our Manitoba Trucking Association is the best out of all of Canada. I don't know any of the American ones, but in Canada, I think ours is the best by far.
It really is. It's a very positive, very strong, very active group, very active association, and they do so much for the members here in Manitoba, and so it just provides so much in this area of training and being an advocate for the industry as a whole. So yeah, we're really fortunate. I agree 100%. Yes.
As a driver, like I'm just a driver among thousands, but anytime I've had questions, that there's been no hesitation on their part. If I've called up and said, "Hey, I got this question. What do you think?" That's I love that they're in touch with their grassroots people, and one of the reasons I love this truck driving championship so much is it's about the grassroots.
Absolutely, David. You bet. No, they're certainly very strong supporters, and it's all about just being there for anyone that has concern or question, and just to support us, like you say, right at the very grassroots level. I think it just makes all the difference, and really has led to the success of the association over the years and its members.
So as a board member, you're on the board for this championship. Maybe you could speak a little bit about the requirements that drivers need to have to compete in the championships, because it's not really just anybody off the street, right?
Yes, no, that is true. So of course you have to be actively working in the industry as a whole. There are some specifics. So you have to be a licensed driver in the jurisdiction or the province that you're competing in. During the preceding 12 months from the date of competition, you must have been employed. You must have been employed by no more than two employers. Must have been employed within the trucking industry, of course. Not have had any previous collisions. The definition of preventable in the Canadian Council, the Safety Council Professional Drivers Improvement Course Manual will apply as far as preventable collisions go, and not have had your license suspended. So during the 5 preceding years of the competition, you must not have had any criminal code driving convictions registered against you. You may participate in only one provincial truck driving championship in a year, and you may compete in only one class of that competition. That's the driver competing in the LCD category must be LCD certified with the MT, and must have record of their certification to be eligible to compete as well. And the provincial or regional professional driving championship committee reserves the right to check all applications and disqualify any competitor who does not meet the above requirements or who is deemed to be guilty of conduct detrimental to the championship or to the trucking industry. So there is a standard, as you know, you've participated in many years, David, and so it's all about professionalism and maintaining that standard in the industry, and of course it's that there has to be a bar that we need to meet, and that's important for us.
Yeah. Why do you think the truck driving championships is important?
It really provides an opportunity for everyone to come together and for individuals to really feel to demonstrate their skills. Truck driving is a very skilled profession. I think the general public sometimes doesn't recognize the amount of skill that it takes to operate a tractor trailer unit. And so as a result, the competition certainly opens that door to provide individuals with the opportunity to be able to show their skills and also to compete in a friendly atmosphere with each other as well too.
You so all of the track obstacles, those are based in real life situations. You want to describe a couple of them that you find are the most interesting or challenging
Sure.
for drivers?
Yes, probably one of them would be the alley dock, for example. So as we know, most customers we enter or you service today, to access the docks, very seldom there's sufficient space just to pull up straight and do a straight line back. So you do have the alley dock. So that's one of the several stations that we have set up. And so the alley dock certainly is a challenge. And of course, these are set up, according to our manual and regulations. But it, certainly takes skill to be able to maneuver your unit into that docking itself. Others that are challenging would be, offset. The offset alley itself. So of course, the diminishing is another one. So it just creates spaces where it's tight maneuvering, and so it requires skill and certain experience to be able to know exactly how to position your vehicle and to be able to negotiate these various challenges.
Yeah, it's they don't when you guys set up the track, you don't give any extra room. You keep doing the course until it's almost impossible.
It's pretty close, yeah. We make it a challenge, there's no question. Otherwise, everybody would just breeze through it, and there wouldn't be any challenge at all. So, in order to really make it a competition, so yes, we do rehearse it. We go through it over and over until we feel we have the right balance, and so yes, it definitely will sharpen your skills to be able to maneuver through these various stations. Absolutely.
Excuse me. How do you find the atmosphere among the drivers and among everybody actually at the truck driving championships? So what's the general atmosphere? Is it tense like a hockey game? Is it what is it like?
I would say the atmosphere is always very upbeat. Everyone's, has a nice big smile on their face, and there can be a little bit of nervousness, and that's understandable when we're competing, of course, putting our best foot forward. But as a whole, it's always the atmosphere is light. It's very upbeat, and people are joking and having a good time. And of course, there's a certain amount of challenging back and forth between some of the competitors because they've competed against each other for a number of years. So we have that little bit of a challenge that goes on. But it's nothing compared to a hockey game when you're out there trying to put your neighbor to the board, so to speak. It's really a very friendly type of competition, and not only for the drivers, and also for the spouses as well too, and the families also. It's really a family day as well, so they come out and they certainly cheer for their prospective family member, and so it just creates a fun day for the whole family ultimately. And then of course, in closing in the evening, and we have the awards, the banquet dinner, so that's another great time as well, a celebration. So overall, it's just one positive event after another as we go through the whole day itself. So it's just once a person has experienced it, it's like you just automatically gravitate. Okay, I can't wait till next year to once again to rejoin the group and to do it all over again.
Well, you've been watching or been at these for many years, and you know the regulars and you know the people that you've seen before. How do you find when you get rookies coming in for the first time? What is their experience like?
Of course, they're a little nervous, needless to say, and they sometimes sort of feel a little bit overwhelmed initially. But we do our best to calm them down and to relax and say, you know what, just take your time. Just don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just give yourself that experience, especially that first time around, just to have that experience as you go through the course, to do the different stations, and and just have fun. Ultimately, that's what we're there for, just simply having fun. It's not gonna, whether you succeed or don't succeed to the level that you hope, but bottom line, you complete the course, and in my books, you succeeded. Just simply by completing it and putting your best foot forward. So it's just a lot of fun.
Getting there is already an accomplishment in itself, because everybody there is a professional. Everybody there is there because they want to be there,
Mhm.
and every driver, because of the requirements, is a good, safe, professional driver.
Yeah,
So you're in good company. And as we know, anytime trucking can be very humbling and very uplifting, where you can have a good day or you can have a bad day.
that's right.
There's been rookies that have won, and
Exactly.
it shows. What would you say to people that are thinking of competing but they haven't taken that step yet?
I would say to certainly to just to overcome your fears, put it behind you. It's certainly, you're not being judged as an individual. It's simply no different than a friendly game of pool or bowling or whatever the case is, or baseball. By all means, just hop in, just dive in and go for it. And generally they find, just the feedback from rookies after they do it the first time, realize, oh, wasn't that bad. The fear was much greater than actually the process of going through it. And they feel good, right? They feel like, wow, as a professional, I accomplished this, and I can do it. And so I think it's just so rewarding for me. It really helps to now elevate that driver to the next level as a result, from that perspective.
So maybe I didn't think of this question before until just now, but do you know what the thought process was to get the police and the DOT involved with a competition? And is that by design, or did it just kind of happen? You know,
It was by design ultimately. Um, the idea is to involve people from all areas of the industry as a whole. And so, of course, the police, compliance, motor carrier, we interact with them daily as a result. So it's nice to have everybody from all the different walks of life, so to speak, to come together and to work and to support one another. And as a result, it's just a fun time to realize we're all human, right? That we're just simply here to support one another and to just ultimately create a good positive atmosphere. So it helps to bridge that gap as well between all the groups.
it's easy when we're as drivers to view motor carrier enforcement as somebody higher than us trying to beat us down, you know,
Mm-hmm.
um, and that wrongly, many drivers think that motor carrier enforcement people don't know as much as we know. As truck drivers, we can be pretty arrogant, think that we know more than anybody. But one thing I found extremely interesting is they do the defects part of the course. That's at least what I see, their main thing that they do. They're involved in other parts as well, but especially the defects. And if you think that the DOT doesn't know how to make defects and doesn't know the trucks, I would challenge you to come to the competition and to try and find those defects that they make. I've had many conversations with people, other drivers. Oh, I could find it, no problem. I could find it, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that attitude?
Well, they're going to be in for a surprise. It'll be a real eye opener because defects can sometimes not be very subtle at all. You really got to look deep and really know what you're looking for as well, too. Not just gloss over it. And oh, no question. I've worked personally with Winnipeg Police and worked here, many years ago when I was in training, and so it's, yeah, no, they're eager to learn, and of course, they want to learn, and they're professionals just like we are as drivers, and so they have a very keen eye and a good understanding of the equipment, and it's no secret ultimately. But like you say, all too often we feel that these folks really have no idea what trucks are all about and so forth. But actually, they do have a very, very good understanding of what a safe vehicle should be, or what it should look like, and how it should operate.
For me personally, that's been one of the best things, is to be able to spend time with the motor carriers um, in a non-confrontational way, in a setting away from our normal setting,
Mm-hmm.
and just chat with them when there's lunch, sit down and talk with them.
Yes.
When we're doing the defects, then that's to me, that's so cool, because it opened up avenues for me to
Mm-hmm.
talk to them and
Right.
ask questions.
Absolutely. Yes, for
And
sure.
I love that people like that are involved. And you said there's um, it's not just those people involved. There's the volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
You have volunteers from all over, different levels of trucking.
Exactly right, David. Yes. So it provides opportunity for office staff in different areas, whether it's in maintenance or whether it's in behind the scenes, whether it's a dispatcher or supervisor. So clerks, it just opens the door for everyone to participate and be involved. And it takes a lot of volunteers every year to pull off the event. And so it's, again, you can just see, again, I always come back to it's just one big family, just having you like a family reunion every year during the championship, and it's just such a great time, and everybody has such an excellent experience and comes away very positive and just feeling better about the industry as a whole, and all the people that are involved with it in it as well. So it's really, really great.
Yeah, it's when the awards are handed out, there's cheering for everybody.
Exactly right. Yeah, exactly
Yeah,
right. No, I only cheer for my team. No, you don't. It's everybody's on the same page and everybody's supportive of each other, and that makes it really nice.
I really enjoy that part of it. Um, what do you, just getting back to the trucking industry in general, what do you think is the best thing about the trucking industry?
The trucking industry provides so much opportunity as a whole, and a lot of times we think the trucking industry, well, the professional drivers, which are key, are very, very important. But there are many departments that support the drivers out there on a day in and day out basis, as you're well aware of. So it's again one large group of people working together to be able to make this happen, and it provides lots of opportunity. It's a large employer. Um, it's just amazing. In Manitoba, there's Winnipeg alone, there's well over 14,700 some odd people involved in the trucking industry. So it's just huge as a whole. The trucking industry is one of the largest employers in the province of Manitoba. You see that throughout, and all the spin-offs. So it's just huge. You have all the trailer manufacturers, you have all the dealerships, all the aftermarket parts and so forth. So the list just goes on and on and on. And then each company has, again, a huge team of employees to support the drivers, take care of the day-to-day functions of the business. So it's just phenomenal. So it's just like a great big live machine that just keeps moving.
Yeah. Did you, throughout your career, did you have opportunities to leave the trucking industry?
Uh, yes, there was the odd time where I sort of was given opportunity, but as a whole, it didn't feel that wasn't the path for me, and I just stayed in the industry, and it I think for me it was just the just the fellowship, just the good um, interaction between the employees, the staff, the management, and the various companies I work for, and well, two companies only for that matter. But it just once you're in it and then you're happy and you make that connection, it's just very different. It's just to break away is virtually impossible. The odd person does, but as a whole, they don't. And the other thing the truck industry does attract, and over the years, I've had individuals, retire from their previous professions, whether they were directors, school teachers, RCMP, for instance, retire from the profession after they put in their 25 plus years, and always had the vision that one day they wanted to drive these big old trucks. And lo and behold, sure enough, got their class one training and started driving, and just loved it, just totally enjoyed it. Said, man, this is just the greatest thing. It's so peaceful, it's so relaxing. And that's the thing. You're really the author of your fate to a certain extent in the trucking industry, as you know, David. It's a matter of just just breathe and just pace yourself, and it's kind of nice to have that freedom. Yes, you have a responsibility job to do, but ultimately you're out there, and you have that freedom just to carry on and enjoy your day as you go. You make it as difficult as you want or as relaxing as you want, for that matter. So it's yeah, very few jobs I think bring that sort of level of satisfaction and accomplishment as well.
Yeah, there's something cool about being able to pilot a big rig down the road successfully.
Absolutely, yeah. It's just and I think back when I was still driving, and it's like it becomes part of you, right? As you're rolling down the highway, rolling through the hills, or rolling through BC, and it just becomes a part of you. You can feel every inch of that vehicle as it's laboring up the side of a mountain, down the other side, and yeah, there's just something about it. Like you really become one with your rig, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah. You have any final thoughts for us today?
Final thoughts, I would say would be, if anybody's looking for a new career, interested, by all means, they really should look into the trucking industry as a whole. So whether it's the driving aspect that is certainly of interest, or any of the other departments, as I mentioned, it takes a whole army of people to keep every trucking industry rolling. So there's a great opportunity, and you won't be sorry. And find that the atmosphere is just second to none. It's a very positive group to work with.
I've seen so many people that had never thought about being in the trucking industry, and they got into it, and they wouldn't leave it now.
Exactly right. Exactly. So why didn't I do this years ago? It's so terrific.
Yeah. So it's been really good talking to you, Rene, and it's been fun seeing you over the years. We've seen each other many years in a row.
Yeah. I always appreciate running into you, David. You're always very positive, upbeat, and such a strong supporter year after year. So that's really terrific. And again, you're a perfect example of just the wonderful professional people that we have in this industry. It makes it awesome, man.
Well, trucking has been. I could have been in other things. Had opportunities. I ended up staying in trucking, and it's a challenging industry. It's far more challenging than people realize, and it's provided for me. There's a lot of good about it. So, and I love the personally, the championships are very important to me, because I know that it makes me a better driver throughout the year. If I want to win a competition, I need to be learning every day when I'm out there.
Right.
And I mean, I tried for years and years and years to beat Ken, and it came. I don't think I ever came close enough, but it was really good to have somebody like him to compete against,
Right.
because I knew that if I was ever going to beat him, which I never did, I would have to take care every single day out in the road and pay attention to the inches out there. And it was always great, and it definitely made me better. And honestly, like we can't have at fault accidents.
Right.
And that's something that's always in the back of my mind too. I want to compete.
Right.
I can't have an at-fault accident.
Yeah.
I can't let my temper get the better of me when I'm
Right.
out on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though I say that I'm a professional and want to be a professional, there are times where you're like, I want to just throw it all away and do something stupid, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And right or wrong, it's been one thing for me
Mhm.
that has kept me in check a little bit more is like, I want to represent not just myself, but my province and my company. And,
Mm.
I need to remember that no matter where I am. If I'm
Exactly.
down south or on the west coast or east coast in Canada, wherever, and somebody wants to look me up,
Right.
oh, he competed in championships, but he's not acting like
Yes.
a professional. To me, that's important. So
Yeah. Absolutely.
it's been a lot of fun, and I really have appreciated all of the people like yourself that have put in so much time to make this work for us.
No.
It's
Yeah.
really
Got it.
appreciated.
Yeah. Very, very welcome. And it's great again, just to go to, it's worth it at the end of the day, just to see all the smiles and the laughs. It's worth those days when you're out there. It's either freezing cold or it's hotter than old gals.
Yeah.
Well, it makes it all worthwhile. And so I'm certainly happy to be part of it for sure.
As drivers, it could be raining and we could be inside the truck, and it can be hard to see out the mirrors and stuff. But you guys are standing outside, and when we're done the course, we can go inside and under the canopy or something.
Yes.
You know, you guys are stuck out there, so you sacrifice a lot for us.
Yeah, no, it's our pleasure for sure.
So thank you very much. It was really great talking to you.
Likewise, David. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Thank you very much, Rene, for such a great interview. I want to remind everybody Saturday, June 17th, it's in a couple of days from now, is the Manitoba and Saskatchewan Truck Driving Championships. So make sure you follow along there. You can come and visit us. You can watch what's going on there. I'm sure there will be things being tweeted out by the Manitoba Trucking Association and at MB Trucking, and look for them anywhere on social media. You'll find them. So um, good luck to all of the contestants, and thank you again to all of the volunteers and the people that put this all together. It is really a huge effort, and it's on behalf of the drivers, and we really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a great day.